Alright, so most of the people that follow my page, my YouTube page, know I usually post videos of cars that I've built at the track or whatever. So I have a 94 Camaro that used to be an NMCA CPS race car. So it ran a DR525, which is a LS3 sealed motor. I pulled it out. It's 25.5 chassis, whatever. Had good framework, good foundation. So I decided to make me a little grudge car out of it. Did a single turbo 408 Pro Mod 88. I fabbed up turbo kit, all that good stuff. Everything that you see. So the car runs an RPM built turbo 400, which is spec'd for that class. But speaking to RPM, it'll handle a couple thousand horsepower. Problem is, when I got the converter out of it, the NA converter, and put in a spec converter for the turbo setup, up on the trans brake, I was getting some fluid leaking between the converter and the pump, some way, somehow. So I couldn't quite figure out what it was. I took it apart, pulled the transmission out, I put a new front seal in it, put the converter back in it, got it up on trans brake, still dumped fluid, took the transmission back out again. Actually pulled the pump this time, put a new O-ring in the pump, made sure that it had the pressure valve, or the pressure circuit had already had the mod done to reduce converter pressure, and it did. It should, be an RPM transmission. So I got to doing some research online. I sent the converter back to ATD, which is who does my converters, and I sent it back up to them. They cut it apart, checked it out. It's all good. I was looking at dump valves, and I got to looking at Speedmaster. Speedmaster actually makes what they call a quick spool valve kit. I got to looking online to see if there was any kind of install. There's no instructions in the box. So if you can see here, it's a Speedmaster kit. There's the part number. It's a quick spool valve system. I got the contents laying here in front of me. It comes with a solenoid, which you see here. It looks like a pretty good solenoid. It also comes with the fittings for the transmission if you need them, with some brass crush washers. I've already got them fittings on mine as it sets. Comes with a T, comes with a braided line, comes with a governor cover that's already tapped for a fitting. The fittings for what I can figure out, the fittings for the solenoid, they have an O-ring. So I assume that's how they go. Like I said, there's no direction. So I figured I would do a quick little video to show how it goes on here. It's pretty simple. I got a 7/8 wrench, a 3/4 inch wrench, and a 5/8. I got a 7/16 for the governor cover. So I guess starting off, it's got an inline T that goes to the line. So you're going to go from what goes to your trans cooler. Go ahead and throw it on there. Shouldn't need no kind of sealing or nothing. It's an AN fitting, so that'll set approximately like that. We won't tighten it up yet. As far as the governor cover goes, probably won't do you any good to try to spin this on there. It'll probably hit your transmission case. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten the fitting up on the solenoid itself. And I should be able to clock it pretty close to what I need. So like I said, the governor cover already tapped here. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that together as well. And it's got an O-ring on it also. Guess orientation really doesn't matter. I'll tighten that up, but it does have flow. So your flow goes in from your transmission pressure line coming out, going in. So we'll take the 7/16 and zip off the governor cover. Voila. Looks like it's pretty clean. Gasket's in good shape. Just wipe it down a little bit. Make sure there ain't much fluid on it at all when I go to putting it back together. RPM does all the little tricks to these transmissions. Let's see. We're going to have to clock it back a little bit because of our bolts. Should be good there. Now the line, of course you put the straight on the T. Just start it in there. And then your 90 goes here. Lock that down like so. We'll go ahead and tighten up this fitting. Go ahead and tighten up the T. Make sure you leave enough room for your bottom line. Boom. That should be it. So there's the final install. Of course, you'll go feed your cooler here, return from your cooler here, line comes down, goes to your solenoid, solenoid dumps into your governor cover. Simple 2-wire solenoid, one will go to ground. Put one over and tie it in conjunction with my trans brake, which goes here. I'll tee off into it. Hopefully that'll do it. So the whole point was in hopes that once I get this back together and get the converter back from ATD, hopefully this will drop a little bit of converter pressure. If that's what's causing it to leak, I still don't know where it's leaking from. But once I get the converter back and get it back in the car, and I get Trevor to do a little bit of tuning on, I get it back up on the chip. Trevor with TC Tuned. I get it back up on the chip. Sorry, not the clip. We get it back up on the chip and see what happens. So yeah, maybe this will help somebody out if they want to know how to install the quick spool kit. I guess it's designed if you have too tight of a converter. You can bypass some fluid to loosen your converter up a little bit for a turbo car. So I'm going to see if it works for my application. It's a pretty simple little kit. It's pretty cheap. I think it's like $170 shipped. I bought it from Jegs. So hope this helps somebody.